everyone. How are you? Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss. Today it's a good one. We're talking about lifestyle mismatch. So I think you're gonna get some inside scoop in our relationships and how our lifestyles with our partners they're not a perfect match. No. Juicy stuff.
It's
How
juicy.
are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. It's only 9:30 a.m. and I'm already done my second coffee. How will I survive?
I haven't even had one yet.
Oh, wow. You're really dedicated to this calorie deficit day.
I really am doing tons of water. When I'm really dedicated to a good calorie deficit day, I love to start my day with a full thing of water. This bad boy.
And moving your body as well.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a good bottle there. I think I'm gonna buy those. Can I be honest? I've been the people will love this. The people love when we struggle. No, but they love when we're not perfect and we are human as well. And guys, we certainly are. And you'll learn this in this podcast. But so this was an in-between week for me, and I could have had the opportunity to really be good and really not take bites and whatever. And I just didn't choose that at all. And so I am actually, I don't like the word struggling. I am choosing not to create deficits. It's like not to create a massive deficit where I still had the opportunity.
Okay.
Opportunity was there. It's also my period week. Therefore, my care level is very low. It's -2 on 10.
Okay.
My patience is legit and I feel it in my body how I am zero patient. Everything annoys me.
Okay.
Everything annoys me. And I have to talk myself out of it, of freaking out. You know what I mean? Less patience with the kid. And I think, and I've been told by a friend, actually a friend visited, and she's like, holy shit, you have a lot of patience. There's so much talking and your talking is so calm. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, and then, that's a fun fact that someone else coming in
nice.
sees that. Yeah, it is a nice thing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, Jeff said the same thing. I'm like, what? Jeff said something nice? And then Jeff is not that he says something mean. He just doesn't say anything.
I know. And people you got to really know Jeff to know that. It's just not his vibe. It's not his style.
He will not give me a compliment other than girl, you look fine. This is his compliment. Let's go have sex. It's always sex related. Anything that's nice from Jeff is always oh, those pants. Ugh. What is wrong with them?
Oh my God.
And I know because obviously you feel it's the same way. He'll say, "T'es belle, mama." He'll compliment me physically a lot. But for him to be thank you for cleaning the thing, that's not his vibe. He's just whatever. Anyways, moving on. So he apparently, when I was not there, she's like, holy crap, Jose has a lot of patience. And she's like, yes, I don't know how she does it sometimes, but he has less patience with the kids than I do.
Okay.
I'm more they have feelings.
Yes.
What if they want to do this? What if they have this? I'm all about let's make sure they feel safe and warm and fuzzy inside at all times.
I mean, I'm kind of the same, and I definitely have more
you
patience.
Are more than kind of the same. You're next level. Oh, children, let's all hold hands. I'm even less than you for sure. Oof.
I think also for me, it's about I'm proactive. If I talk to them kindly and we have a nice conversation, things don't escalate. People don't get mad. There's not tantrums and screaming.
Yes,
because we're talking it through.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm also I'm also that parent that's they want to do something annoying, but I'm it's annoying for you, not for them. So then I'm okay, how can I push aside that emotion of being annoyed and be resonate or be plus raisonner towards it's okay, example. I want to go to the park and we're right next to the park. Then I'm oh, I have to watch you and I have to you know what I mean? Basically I have to be your parent. It's so interesting how my thought goes. But then I'm okay, yes, you can go. And they're oh, yay, whatever. And then I'm it's very annoying. I'm very annoyed by this, but I'm going to push that emotion aside and replace it with they're going to be happy. It's passes time. I am just not made for this, like that part of being a parent,
Yeah.
that young stage.
And as much as you say, like, I'm so patient, I think that you do like more things like that for your kids than I do. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, nope, not talking to you. Figure, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I'll be like, nope, go figure it out.
Yes. Yeah. I'm more like, yeah, I'm too, sometimes I'm involved in their conversation when I should be.
Abs-
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing with you on the floor. I'm not pushing you on a swing.
I
Judge me
love
if
that
you
about
want,
you.
but I'm just not. I'm
Yeah.
faking it.
No. Yeah. No. And you're not hiding it. And as
No.
I'm not the person that's like, yes, eat this veggie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, it's fine. Don't eat the vegetables. Okay. I think it's so good. And at the end of the day, we're just so happy because we're being authentic and we're just being ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, back to important things. Okay, so that's just to say, like, last meeting was the in-betweens, and we talked about, you have in-betweens to make them, make them work. And I'm having an in-between week where I'm just managing. I'm being transparent. So I'm getting on the scale. I know exactly what it's saying and I'm choosing it. So I feel like last week's topic, or maybe not last week, but last podcast, it was like a mix of you're in control, do whatever. And just that's the most important message always. Like, you are in control. So if you want to choose a surplus, or if you end up in a surplus, it's because you chose it.
Yeah, you're not like, oh, it's my period week, so I must eat 87 ice cream bars.
Absolutely not, Alicia. I chose 87 ice cream bars. It's what I wanted. I didn't choose a calorie deficit this week. And I made peace with it. And it's like, and there's other, there's always learning. So when you are in control and you're creating that deficit and you're like, wow, this is an amazing week. Like those weeks where you're like, wow, I'm down. I feel good. I'm like in control. There's learning there of like, I can do hard things.
Yeah.
I can, I am fully in control. I know what my body needs to create a deficit. There's tons of experiences behind that. The experience that I'm living right now is I'm trying to really embrace the lifestyle, the lifestyle of investing in a few pounds and seeing, do I like that lifestyle? And the I guess I don't want to say number, but the feeling it gives me.
Yep.
Anyways, obviously I'm going to share all of this with our members on my Friday maintenance. But I'm like in this journey right now.
I like it. So Jose goes live on our community group every Friday, and she debriefs about her maintenance journey. And I think it's so powerful because everyone, I'm sure you learn something every single time you listen. I personally do. I love it. And you're so transparent, which is so refreshing. But I just love the focus on maintenance, like like a full conversation every single week about maintenance. So realizing what it's like to maintain, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like. It's so powerful. And we appreciate your vulnerability in
Here
all
for
the
it.
things. You really are so open
Yeah.
about your numbers and your feelings, and it's helping others learn.
And my choices, like I'm all like, it always ends up like I've never done a live where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like there's no radiotrilo. Radiotri, that's a big word. Basically, that's like just I'm always like, there's always something to learn in my lives, whether you're on maintenance or not. I think that what people can really resonate with, every single person, whether they're on maintenance or not, is really the like, shit, it's not perfect. Holy mac. Like you have to keep choosing what you want all the time. And what you're choosing today might not be what you choose tomorrow. And it keeps, there's always like so much adjusting and conversations. And anyways, I've been doing it now for it's almost been like 14, 15 months. Never missed a Friday, except that one Friday I was drunk. Remember that one Friday? I was like too drunk to do a live. People wanted me to do it. That one Friday in my life that I was ever drunk, but I did it on the Saturday instead.
Yeah.
I just like love, because I have different thoughts every week. Anyways, I just feel like people need to learn how to reflect. I think that's what I teach them most. Like you need to stay connected, the importance of staying connected.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that live on Friday to get all of your thoughts. And I am enjoying this Jose, who is valuing experiences a little bit more than a certain number, and I think that she's super fun. I also like that she got drunk this summer.
I for sure am more lifestyle focused right now than number focused.
Yep.
And I'm more like, what is the like, because this is it, you guys. Like, this is and again, this is the lifestyle that I want today. It might not be the one I want in September, might not be the one I want in January. Like, and that's the like no drama approach. It's like, but what do I want right now? What's the lifestyle? And I'm kind of like testing the waters and like with that lifestyle, and it's giving me this feeling. Can they coexist? Do I need to switch it up a little bit? How's my, what's the word I use that I like? My intuition, or my oh, there was a good word that I used a couple lives ago. But I'm really like, okay, when I went to my camping trip, and I'm not tracking anything, I have no clue how much I'm eating, but I'm like really going with it's not intuition, it's another one. And I'm like, okay, it's paying off. It's working because I stayed within the same number. So right now I'm like really going with
Instincts.
instincts. What are my instincts telling me? What is like when I'm
Yeah.
living in the moment? Is it saying like you're too full? You ate too much. Like you're feeling stuffed. Like I'm really going with that. And I'm like, hey, it's serving you well. And if it's like, if my instincts are you should be in a deficit right now, and I'm not in a deficit, then it's not serving me. My body's not agreeing. So I need to like tweak my awareness. Anyways. Okay.
We
So this
are
one's about lifestyle mismatch.
okay. How are we gonna start? How are we gonna let's just talk about kind of like what most people probably listening know mostly what your lifestyle is. Why don't you share what Jeff's lifestyle is?
I love this. Okay. So this, I guess, concept came to me when I was listening to You Are Not Broken, which is a sex podcast. And she talks about the fact that the most common with the people that go see therapists about their couple, their relationships, they have a not pleasure mismatch, but what's the word for wanting it? Like the desire. They have a desire mismatch between their partner. And I thought, what a good way to like, what a good conversation. And obviously, anything that I listen to, I always relate to weight loss and lifestyle and whatever. So I'm like, man, is that ever true with also wanting to lose weight and having a lifestyle mismatch with your partner, and how that can affect your journey, your personal journey, right? And so there was that part where she says, like legit over 90% of people that are struggling with their sex life is because they have a desire mismatch with their partner. So the partner wants it 7 times a day. You want it 7 times a year. That's a mismatch of the desire piece of wanting sex or whatever. And both need to compromise. Like that was a big part of the conversation she was having. Like both need to compromise, but also you need to really you need to work with you first. Like you need to like figure out where can you meet up the other person. Okay. So Jeff and I for sure have a lifestyle. Like we're not matchy, everything's not perfect. And I really like, if I'm looking around with my friends or whatever, I think that it's either one is being more driven towards the other. Maybe they don't want that lifestyle, but they don't even know they don't want that lifestyle because they've been with their partner for so long. So they are very matchy, but just because they kind of have to, one compromise. I truly believe that. I think that, if both people, let's say, are overweight and are living that lifestyle of eating out and eating every night chips and whatever, it might not be what both of them actually want, but it's like one is being really drawn to the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think that probably when I think about my friends too, I think I think it's very rare that it's this perfect lifestyle match.
Right. But don't you feel like some are being like, I wonder, are we only in that vibe or in that space because we're looking at a lens of weight loss and health related, but tons of people both are not, like some are like, tons of couples aren't trying to lose weight.
Right.
But often the wife is the one that's like, I'd love to lose weight. But they feel like they can't because of their partner.
Exactly. That's a huge point. And we get asked this all the time, but
Right.
but how do you do it if your partner is not on board?
So it's almost like saying like, I'm having sex every day, but I don't want sex every day. So how do I have that conversation that like, I'd really like to go towards this lifestyle. This is more what I want. That's a hard conversation.
It
So
is,
it's the same with your partner.
and the sex conversation versus the health conversation, the sex is you have to do it together every time.
Right.
So there's more compromise there. I really think that there needs to be less compromise when there is a lifestyle mismatch.
I like that. I agree. I
There
agree.
needs to be mutual respect for people, for the couple and person, people that want to do a certain thing. But like, if I want to eat salad, Neil doesn't have to eat salad.
Yeah, okay, so
But if
let's
I
start
want to
with
have sex,
yeah,
I have to have sex with Neil. I
right.
mean, you know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
you can do whatever.
I mean,
But yes, no, absolutely. Yes, that's a great point. Okay, so let's go to Jeff and I. So I think if we go back, and also what's important is who we are today and where we are today, it stems from where we started. So I think it'll be good for you to, you met Neil at an overweight weight. And so you had a certain lifestyle that you decided to change after, whereas I, from the get go, was always different than Jeff. Does that make sense?
yeah,
So I met Jeff in high school. Already in high school, I am focused on health and my weight.
right.
So I am already like, I'm different than I was back then, but he met me and I met him at a point where he knows that we're not going to go to the restaurant every single day. I am health focused. So he met me with that, like, with that personality, si tu veux, or that priority. So, but he never changed. Like, he never was like, okay, I'm hopping on this salad eating, whatever. He just kept his own thing. And I think that why this is not as hard as someone that has been with their spouse for 10, 20 years, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm going this route. You stay where you are, and that's fine. Like, we actually grew our relationship not eating the same thing, like, because he didn't want to change to, like, I was doing it and I was just doing, we like have always just done our own thing, to be honest. I've always moved my body. He was not someone that moved his body. So we have a lifestyle mismatch where, like, we don't move our bodies together, and like we're not both gym goers, and we're not both like macro counters. Like, think of those couples, those like
Yeah,
sick couples that are like, both of them are very like focused on the exact same
yeah.
thing. Um, we're not those couples. Like, you're not that couple either.
No. Okay, I have a question. Do you think it would be easier? And let's go like extreme. Let's think of people who like are bodybuilders who are tracking, counting macros. Do you think it is easier to be successful with that if your partner is doing the exact same thing?
It's so hard to be in that mindset because the language in my mind is like, nah, just let me be lo. Like, in my mind, I like don't care what other people do, but I know I need to like put myself. I don't think that mindset is common right now. I think
Yeah.
that most people think that they need their spouse to do the same thing because their spouse is part of their environment.
Yes.
And so I understand that when we say you need to set up your environment in a way where that will enhance your chances of being successful. Absolutely. And your spouse is a huge part of your environment. Like, and I get that. What I would find hard would be if my spouse was this crazy fitness person and that's not what I want. And
Okay.
I'd be like, oh, like, you're so annoying with your chicken and your broccoli. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would annoy me as much as Jeff eating Ritz and peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's almost like what I need from you is not eating, because I don't value a meal plan. So for me, like, I don't care what you eat, but I need for you to have the same language than me and
Yeah.
have the same.
It's
That's what
like
I value most.
it's the values and the
Yeah.
mutual respect that's important. Okay, as you were talking, I was thinking. So I think that if I wanted to count my macros, or even if I don't know, would it be easier for me to do what I do if Neil did the exact same thing as me? Maybe while I was at home, but like, let's think about this. I don't just sit at home. If you go to work, there's the people at work, there's coworkers, there's treats, your friends, your family, like not your immediate family. So here's where I struggle is when people say, well, if my husband was on board, it would be easy. And that's just putting too many eggs in one basket. That's just saying like, and sorry,
I'm
it's
sorry,
not.
you're
It's
putting
not.
no, you're putting the pressure on someone. You're putting the someone else's choices as too much of a priority on your journey. Like too much of like it's too. You're putting the responsibility of your journey and your success on someone else's choices. Because I'm sorry, you could join with your partner and then choose decide. Never mind. Like I don't, and so that's why I'm like I'm not putting any like anything that I'm eating or not eating or whatever is not on Jeff. Là.
Nope.
And whether I'm moving my body or not moving my body, it's not on Jeff.
Nope.
So
And
I'm not relying on him supporting me or motivating me, and that's where I'm like, I don't like those words. It's the words.
I totally agree. And I'm also having a moment where I'm thinking about people who live in a relationship where actually the husband is maybe a health nut, fitness, whatever, and maybe the wife is struggling with their weight. Look at that situation. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, this husband is only eats lettuce and broccoli, but she is still struggling with her weight. So there is no perfect situation. So, I guess the thing is stop waiting for your spouse to be on board in order for you to make change. And is it possible for you to be healthy and live with someone that's not? Absolutely.
Okay, tell me about I want to ask you a question. So Neil is overweight.
Yeah.
Neil kind of does his own thing. I mean,
Yeah. I
so
love it.
he's just, I mean, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
you are living, you chose, so you are both overweight. You chose, I don't want this life anymore. Okay.
Mhm.
So you chose that. Okay. Do you find that, do you miss sometimes, like when you look at him kind of like eating the chips at night or doing whatever, tell people struggle with that. They're like, oh, it's so hard watching him eat chips and whatever. Bring us through the thought process of Alicia's brain living with someone that really is just like eating the things they want. Do you miss that part of having, of being overweight where there's just like, tell me
Never.
everything. Tell us
It
everything.
and honestly, when Neil and I first started dating, he was only like he wasn't really even overweight. Like he would have been in the overweight category probably, but he was like I was certainly way more overweight than him at the beginning of our relationship.
Okay.
I remember one time we were traveling in New Zealand and he like ran out of pants and I gave him my jeans. Like he wore my jeans for the rest of the trip.
I love him so much that he wasn't like, I'm not wearing your jeans.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? He's like, sure, thank you.
And actually my belt, now that I think about it, and he had that belt for like maybe
Stop.
6 years. I was like, please get a new belt.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And now there's like almost like there's like 90 pounds difference between us now. The
Right.
other way, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. I never look at him and feel sorry for myself that I'm not doing what he's doing because I choose every single day. I choose what I do, and maybe it's because I'm not on a meal plan that says no chips. That I know that if I really want chips, I can eat chips, and like legit, sometimes I do. He's like, want some chip? Like legit, he eats it probably almost every night. Every once in a while, he'll ask me if I want something. I probably eat at night once every 2 months. And I'd be like, yeah, actually I do. I want some popcorn right now. And it's like I'm just choosing it.
Do you think it's because you were so focused on, and obviously this is what we recommend our members, is to focus on who you want to be, and you didn't start losing weight because you were overweight? Like that wasn't the language. It's like, I want to change the way I feel. I no longer want to be the person that eats chips every night. So you're not jealous of him because that's not who you want to be.
Exactly. And I also think it's because I live a life where I do not feel deprived. I treat myself. I
Right.
just prioritize what and when I do treat myself. So I zero feel deprived. So like when we go eat out at a restaurant and he orders a burger with a poutine, I'm not like, oh mommy, I can't eat that. I
I
ask for
know.
a bite or two and I feel great. And who I want to be is who I want to be. So I don't find it hard at all, actually.
Do you think that you wanting to be healthy affects him in any way? Like, as in, like, do you think it annoys him? Do you think
I
you're
don't
annoying?
I mean, I'm definitely annoying, but as far as that, I don't think so.
No.
And I also like I am the primary organizer of food and I cook the food. And I do it in a way that everyone's needs are met. Like
Right.
he would never complain.
Yeah, no, I also do it in a way where everyone's needs are met. So I'm not
Yeah.
like, as in, like, he doesn't care if I don't eat the same thing. Like, that was never a part of the deal with me.
Mhm.
Like, it was never, and he doesn't want to eat like I eat. So why would I eat like what he eats? I don't want to eat what you eat. So, like, I'm like, I keep it so simple. And I'm just like, here, you didn't want to eat what I made for myself. I made you this. And he says, thank you for the
It's
chicken
just not
burger.
a thing. It's not a thing at all. We live our lives, we coexist, we do so much together, but we don't have to eat the same thing every moment of every day. And you know what? I also don't need to eat the same portion that he eats. Like
No, exactly.
sometimes we will choose the same, but I'll have a half or even a quarter of the portion that he ate. So
Yeah.
there's all kinds of things that you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I say I don't eat the same thing as Jeff, it's not because what he eats is bad. It's
Yeah.
not. It's because what he eats for me to still have what I want and my goals, I would have to eat a quarter of it. And I value volume. So because I value volume, then I switch the type of, like, that's just me being me and also prioritizing what I value. So that's what's important as well, right? There's nothing bad. There's no bad food or good food. It's just, okay, how can I get my goals and my values together? How can they coexist?
And just conversations with your spouse as well, like setting the expectations. Neil's so supportive of when I leave to move my body.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that time. Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Like, Jeff is starting to, like, move his body and I'm like, how dare you? Because it takes time and I'm like, no, no.
And you can't leave the kids
So
alone. So
we've been
annoying.
together for 19 years. I'm like, you've never really put until, yeah. So one day the kids will be able to be alone and we can either move our bodies together or separately. And it's not the end of the world to go for a walk because Dio will be 12. One day that's going to happen.
One day.
One day. But I think the support I need is not physical, like, do something with me, eat like me, do it for me. It's nothing physical. The support I need is for the language we're going to use in our home. And that is what I need to set up as an environment. And I think that is what's not being valued enough right now is people want physical, like, do this for me, tell me what to do, do it with me.
Don't
It's going
buy
to be easier.
chips.
Yeah, don't buy chips. I'm like, what? No, I just need you to not ask me and push me. You can ask me, but when I say no, it's no. Or there's ways for you, and also there's steps. Step one might be, can we not buy chips this week? Like, you know what I mean? Because I can't handle it, and I'm just wondering if you're open to that suggestion. Next step could be, can we not buy ketchup chips? Because they're my favorite. The next step could be, I actually don't care about your chips. You know what I mean? Like, go and do your thing. And you know what? Like, no one needs chips. But anyways, I'm just putting that on the table. But maybe he won't even care that there are no chips.
Yeah, I guess like at the end of the day, if you feel yourself living in a relationship that is a lifestyle mismatch and you feel like that is one of the reasons that is holding you back from being successful, then we need to remind you that you are the boss of your life. And what we recommend you do is have a conversation with your spouse.
Yeah.
Whew.
And that's a conversation will be needed, you guys. You cannot do this secretly. Like, don't do this. This is a part, like, they are a huge part of your environment. And even with your children, like, it's not about changing their life because you're trying to change yours. It's maybe changing the language. So, making sure that you have the proper language. You don't have to model and you don't have to do anything with them. They don't have to change anything in their lives, but little opportunities to start changing the language could make a big difference.
And the changes that you should be making should be so incremental that maybe your
Right.
husband and kids won't even notice. If you're
Right.
making a change that your husband notices,
Yes.
maybe it's too much of a change all at once.
Right.
Just a thought.
Sorry, I was like distracted. Okay. So basically, this was such a common question with the partner and with the whatever. And at the end of the day, do not compare with my marriage, Alicia's relationship, because you need to really go into your own and say, okay, what are we willing to work on? And what do I value right now? How can I feel like we're going forward with, like, we're going a step forward towards me feeling more supported, or more towards me, but wanting who I want to be. But that's what's hard about this, you guys, is because we're really telling you, be who you want to be. And it's going to be difficult for your partner if you're starting to change drastically who you want to be. So start little, like, okay, I've been doing that. I think I want to do this a little bit more. And so, and explain to them that you're not doing it just for the weight loss part, that it's like, I just like don't feel good when I eat chips every night anymore. Like, don't be like, can't eat chips anymore, I'm weighing in on Saturday. Like, don't use that language. Okay. How your spouse and your environment perceives your journey is huge. And so the language you're using and the words you're using is what's going to be put out there in the universe. So make sure that you watch that and you are aware of it.
Language matters, and you can still have those amazing experiences with your spouse. You still
Yeah.
go on date night with Jeff. Neil and I still go drinking with our friends all the time, and
Yeah.
I can still balance that and my healthy lifestyle. So remember that you don't have to give up all those fun things that you do with your spouse at all to be a healthy person.
Right. Okay, you guys, this was fun. This was that they got all the I feel like they'll be able to be like, okay, I'm not alone, and I can also have conversations. And I mean, you shouldn't be scared of having a conversation with your husband. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the one person in this world that we should be able to be honest and open and whatever, because like we've chosen to live life together. And that's a hard task on its own. So I just feel like being yourself is how you're going to be truly happy, and it can only bring good things to your marriage, you guys.
And explain to them why. Not
Yeah.
just, I want to lose weight. I want
Yeah.
to feel better. I want to have more energy. Like, really figure out why you want to make these
Yeah.
small changes and
Yeah.
not weight loss.
All right. As always, please share our podcast, like it, subscribe, do all the things. Come see us on social media. We appreciate you listening to us. We hope you love our content. We love talking. So see you soon, you guys. Bye.
Bye.